Hey, welcome to the Happiest Hour. Welcome to the Happiest Hour. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I had a lot of people hitting us up today, asking us, where are you? Where are you guys? How come you're not on at 5:30? Why does Brendan not have a beard? What's up with his mustache? What's going on with his face? I got to admit, these are all good questions. Let me shine a little light on the situation. Welcome to Happiest Hour. I'm so happy that you could join us, be here with us. We were on the hiatus, but Lancey, Joe, and I came back. And now we're rocking. Let me go ahead. Hopefully you're at home enjoying something good. We're here, of course, Tuesday through Friday, normally at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, and 11:30 GMT. I did that just for Rachel Rosina. Shout out to you. And my cousins Steven and Sarah, who are over on the other side of the pond. You guys are all great. And Erna Sophia, of course, who's always tuning in from Iceland. We're going to try to get back to that normal time, but, just getting back into the swing of things has been interesting during this very challenging and unprecedented time. You know what else is unprecedented, but not without glory? Give it up for Lancey Joe, all the way from the Lancey Joe on Venmo show.
I'm reporting live here from the Lancey Joe on Venmo show, and it's starting to amp up out here. In anticipation for tonight's show, number 103.
Oh, buddy.
102.
Triple digits.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on,
time.
Man. The Simpsons were on for years before they got that many episodes.
Yep. I'm competing with the Simpsons now. But instead of Fox, it's Facebook Live. I don't know if that's the same amount of... I guess it's better to be on Facebook Live these days than Fox, but who knows? Who knows?
I guess the best time to be on Fox was from 89 to 95 was probably
right.
The best. That was the
now it's better to encounter an actual Fox than it is.
So when we were in Edinburgh, you might find this kind of funny. When we were in Edinburgh, we, by the way, guest on the show today, all the way, who joined us in Edinburgh back in the day, Aaron McDavis is going to be on the show, and
nice.
We're going to call him up.
I didn't check the show notes before here, so.
Well, that's because there were none, Lance.
Well, if you know anything about me, you know that I absolutely despise Aaron McDavis. So this will be the last show that I do.
Aaron is an essential worker, man. He's over there. I feel like the term essential worker has become a kind of weird 4-letter word in today's world.
Yeah.
The guy should receive the best bonus. He works in trying to get you, your essentials.
It's tremendous. It's tremendous what they're doing out there. The businesses, the CEOs are doing a tremendous job at managing these people.
The best jobs. You saw this today. It's amazing that Mike Pence and Trump are now saying that if school districts don't go back to school, they're going to get rid of the federal budget for the school district or something. It's Betsy DeVos is finally getting rid of public schools. It's so ridiculous. My favorite bit of news though recently was the fact that Neil Young, they played "Keep on Rockin' in the Free World" at his Mount Rushmore speech. Did you see this?
No.
Yeah, they started playing "Keep on Rockin' in the Free World" by Neil Young, which is Neil Young could not be more anti-Trump. You couldn't have picked a worse song. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's against everything that he represents, and so they pick this. And I think we're gonna try to strive to find a new Trump tune. And I was thinking the best one would just be whoever directed the Nuremberg chants
That would be good.
for the Second World War. Did that fly? Did you miss that one? Did that fly? Was that not funny or fly around? Didn't really land anywhere.
I don't get it.
It was like the big Trump. There was a big like Hitler rally in Nuremberg.
Oh, okay, got it. Well, what threw me off is when you said, because you started the sentence, I think the song should be whoever, whatever. You said the Nuremberg thing.
Got it.
And I thought you were going to say Who Let the Dogs Out, which I think would be an appropriate tune for Trump. Anything off Jock Jam's 1 through 3 would be good.
Classic Republican anthems.
Oh, yes.
Gary Glitter. He was a philanderer, so they do have that in common.
So did you exercise? Did you put your body through hell today, Brendan?
I ran 6 miles, same as normal, and I'm going out after this to do additional workouts. So I'm doing the same thing. Are you doing any exercise down there in Memphis?
Well, I'm still doing. Since I'm past, I'm actually technically in Mississippi, and I still do my yoga routine, which is technically illegal in the state. You're not supposed to do yoga of any sort. No type of calisthenics. But I'm doing that a little bit under the table. I'm still doing my yoga routine, and today I jogged.
That's the movement is under the table.
Yes. Yeah, it's like goats walking on your back, or you could just get under the table and actually do yoga.
A lot of table asana.
I got that one. I missed one joke. We've been doing this show how long? We've been doing this show 30 years, and that's the first joke I missed was that Nuremberg thing.
30 years. Well, it wasn't a very well-delivered joke. What I really want to do, here's what I want to do. I want to go did you ever see Cabaret, the movie Cabaret? Or the play?
Mm-mm. I've not seen either one.
So there was a sequence where they go to this beer garden, and it takes place during the Second World War, and just at the beginning. And there's this Hitler Youth character who starts singing this song in the beer garden called "Tomorrow Belongs to Me," and it starts out, and he's just like, the stag in the forest runs free. It's like, and there soon comes a voice, arise, arise, tomorrow belongs to me. And I was like, that should be the Trump anthem. It should just be this fucking Nazi youth from this movie. So I have 2 ideas I want to throw by you. I feel like we might end up, I don't know if I should talk about them on the show, because I think I might use them as segments like next week. I might go out and actually like film them this weekend. And so we can play the video here next week. But something like that might be something I do. While I have this mustache, I think it would be very appropriate for me to go out as a Trump canvasser trying to get people to vote for him.
Well, I tell you, I mean, Trump's done a lot of controversial things in the news lately. I mean, we can all agree on.
Starting with existing.
He started with existing. But, I mean, if he keeps it up, I probably won't vote for him again. I probably won't. But I don't know. He's got about 16 or 17 more chances with me.
I think I should just editorially come out and say it is the official editorial position of Brendan Lemon that he is not elected again. I hate that guy.
The attitudes, riddance. Beliefs, and behaviors of Lancey Joe are not necessarily those of Brendan Lemon Enterprises. Those are solely his opinions.
Oh my God, man. By the way, a friend of the show, Michael Lucci's, I told him that he actually needs to start that pizza place.
Oh, yes. I thought that guy was like, I thought you had just heard about him. I didn't know you were actually friends with him.
Friends is a strong word.
Well, you're an online acquaintance of him?
We're online acquaintances. He's a good dude. I really like him. Andrew Lawson, I love this. He's like, I didn't even recognize you. You look like some 70s porn artist. Artist is a great word to use for describing a porn star, Andrew.
Pornography artist.
That is what I am. I'm not a porn star. I'm a porn artist, my friend. I festoon my life with pornography the way an artist does. The way some people paint in oils, I paint in pornography. Andrew Lawson said he just renewed the subscription to this show. Really stoked, Andrew. Happy to have you watching, man. Of course. So Lancey, let's go through this. Let's do this segment. You got a joke of the day? You got a good joke that you wrote today? I've got
a good joke that I wrote about a week ago, but it's the perfect joke, so it's hard to get over.
All right, you want to? I'll do mine first because yours is gonna be better than mine. I got a good one. If the virus were a dictator, Donald Trump would be conspiring to be its best friend. That one. Trump coronavirus 2020. That's
good.
It's really his running mate at this point.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because the virus came out in support of Joe Biden this week.
Get the virus's press agent on the phone.
I think we need to defund the virus.
We are. We're getting out of the WHO. I
love
that.
WHO.
This is called the ostrich strategy, which is that if we don't hear it or see about it, it can't possibly exist.
Right. That's why we need to get test less. We need to test less.
We got to test less. We want the least tests. I love that he went out and bought remdesivir also. I love that like the CDC came out and finally was like, no, just hydrochloroquine, no way. Don't ever, no.
Hydrochloroquine is a hard word to say, but actually you have to say the whole word, which is hydrochloroxenophobia.
I thought it was weird when I heard it because I was like, hydrochloroquine, you mean the stuff my dad put in the pool growing up?
You're not going to have any algae growing on your edges if you if you do that.
I don't mind taking a dip in these lungs.
So my joke of the day, or my joke of the week, I've told on the Lancey Joe and Venmo show. So if you've subscribed to that, I apologize. But if anybody who knows how stand-up comedians operate, you tell a joke about 1,000,000 times before you get it to work correctly in a dinner setting. So here it is. I experimented with drugs in college. Most of my experiments were a disaster because I was high.
I loved that so much. I immediately told that to like everybody in my life. I was like, Lancey came up with such a good joke today.
I feel like it's so good that I think that I'm just afraid that somebody's already written that joke because it makes too much sense.
It's too good. I mean, it's one of these, it's like you wonder parallel thinking or whatever because you think that joke is like I came up with one and then I like weeks later saw another comedian do the same joke and I thought that motherfucker ripped that joke off. And then I thought, there's no way I came up with this joke first. And it was I just thought, oh my God, this will be so funny. And whenever I like tell a bomb on stage, like I just say something and it just doesn't go, I'll just go, yeah, I'm like a jazz musician. You got to listen to the jokes I'm not telling. I thought that was so funny. And then I thought like somebody fucking I had to hear that somewhere. And I've never done it since. I did it like one time and it went over well, but I just thought there's no way I thought of that. I'm sure somebody else thought of that. Yeah. And I saw somebody else do it weeks later. And for a second I was like, that fucking asshole. And then I thought, actually, whatever. We all think of this. I have a funny concept that I got to talk to you about.
Okay.
This happened to me yesterday. I was so tired. I've been doing these like 2-a-day exercises, because I'm trying to be a hot bro, trying to fit. I'm trying to live the life I never got to do in high school. So I'm just, that's what it is. If I'm being honest, like I never was I wasn't athletic enough. And now I'm like 34 and I'm like, yeah, why the fuck not? I can't do anything else. So I might as well run around. Anyway, the concept, so I was like so tired. At like 2 p.m. yesterday, I took a nap for like 30 minutes. I like passed out on the couch. And I was so tired. And then at time to go to sleep, I went to bed at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to sleep. It'll be so great. I laid down. Right. I didn't sleep at all. I didn't sleep until like 2 in the morning. My brain was just like everything that I couldn't do at 2 p.m. At 2 a.m. my brain was like, hey, how come you didn't do any of that shit? Like, and I was freaking out. It was just like
your brain doesn't know the difference between AM and PM anymore.
No, it's flipped. And I think what's so crazy about this to me is I feel like if you were in a relationship with someone that woke you up in the middle of the night to remind you of some stupid shit you did in middle school, you would break up with them. Like, hey, you know how you said that somebody called you a dumb name in 6th grade and you didn't have a good comeback? You remember that?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I hate that. And for some reason, I think it has something to do with if you fall asleep deeply and then you're awoken really quick, then your brain is in like some sort of loop where it's thinking about bad things. It's not in a good place to be woken up like that.
No.
So do you actually fall asleep and then you wake back up in like kind of a cold sweat situation?
Well, not last night. I just couldn't sleep.
Oh, you just never slept.
No. So at 2 a.m. I got up and worked for like half an hour. And then finally I went. And then finally my brain, after about 30 minutes from working, was like, oh, that's enough. And then like I went back to sleep. It's so stupid. So I need to work on that concept because the older I get, I feel like the more that happens to me. Where like it's so dumb. It's like at 2 p.m. my body's like, you can't do anything, dude. You're too tired. And then at 2 a.m. you're like, why didn't you do that? Like, motherfucker, you're the one who did this to me.
Man, with you with that mustache and the glasses and the hat like that, and talking to me with the tie, people think that they're accidentally seeing someone talk to their therapist. They're like, why is this guy talking about?
They're not accidentally thinking that. That's what's happening. You're my. This is a live recording from BetterHelp.com.
Yes.
Sponsor of the show, BetterHelp.com.
Tell me more about this situation in middle school. What happened?
Oh my God. What was your middle school experience like?
Middle school was pretty good. I think, well, the first day of 7th grade was like the first few months of 7th grade were really rough. I had a hard transition between elementary school and 7th grade.
Oh wait, so where you grew up? Hold on. So where you grew up was 6th grade was elementary school. 7th grade was middle school.
Yes. Yeah.
And was there 2 years in middle school? Was it 7th grade and 8th grade?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Where I grew up, it was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all in one school.
And I think they reverted to that when I went to 8th grade. We went to a new middle school, and I think they included the 6th grade in it. But when I was right there in that before they started that. So anyway, 7th grade I think is hard for a lot of people because the kids are starting to mature, but they're still young enough where the parents can make them go to school. By 8th grade, they're like, I'm out. This ain't for me.
All bets are
whatever.
Off. Yeah.
Yes. In 7th grade, I think it's especially rough because you have kids in there that are older that have been held back or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Those are tremendous people. They're tremendous. Everyone loves them.
Marvelous children. If Donald Trump tried to kiss a baby at a rally, I would dive in front of that baby to prevent him from doing it. I would let his weird lizard lips kiss my cheek and give me whatever diseases the world hasn't discovered in his body because I think it's a moral evil to let Donald Trump near someone under the age of 30.
It's not so great for people after 30, but it's moral evil.
It's bad no matter what age you are. But if you're under the age of 30 and Donald Trump is near you, something has gone terribly wrong.
You know that slogan, "Make America Great Again"? Actually,
Yeah.
Reagan said that first. Reagan said that. He came up with "Make America Great Again." He also invented crack. Like that. He's invented some really bad things.
Tremendous. What a fucking Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan. Donnie and Ronnie.
The Donnie
Just
and Ronnie show.
driving around in the General Lee.
What about you? How was your middle school experience from 6 to 8?
That was bad,
grade.
dude. It wasn't. I don't think there's two ways around it. That was terrible. No one gets into comedy because they had a great middle school experience. You know what I mean? Nobody was like anybody who's getting on stage and they had a great time between the ages of 12 and like 25. Like,
right.
Come on, you didn't. What you know? It's bullshit. You know what I mean? Women gave you attention if you don't feel like doing comedy, or your father, one of the two. So, I mean, it was bad news. It was an awkward time for me, man. Being that age, I went to I had gone into, though it was doubly bad because in 5th grade I had been in like the accelerated program, so like I was like a really smart kid. And they put me in the accelerated program. And then in 6th grade, they kicked me out of that program. And they put me in, like, regular middle school. So I didn't have, like, any friends and didn't know, like, anybody.
Right.
And I was bored because it was, like, all the things we had done the year before. Like, in 5th grade. I basically got held back a year, except I was already pushed forward a year. Does that make sense? Like,
right, yeah.
So it was
so you were fighting catch weight. In middle school.
Yeah, it was so frustrating, man, and everybody was just like, you know, the problem is, I think one of the creators, I think Matt Groening from The Simpsons said that middle school exists middle school exists to keep middle schoolers from tainting the thoughts of elementary school children and from getting them around high schoolers who would deliver to them the beatings they so desperately deserve. I think it's pretty accurate, actually. These are annoying children. I think that the problem is middle school teachers, because you can't possibly spend that much time around people between the ages of like 12 and 13 and not just grow to hate them deeply, because they're awful humans.
Well, I was just recently, this is funny that you bring this up, is because I recently, maybe a week ago, I sent a great inspiration in my life was my 8th grade history teacher. And I looked through an old yearbook, and he had written in my yearbook that, like, keep your sense of humor. And it was, like, very inspiring to me, especially looking back at it now, to think, like, because I'm trying to do comedy. So I sent him an email. I tracked him down on there. And I think some people are just, you have to have a certain personality to do that.
Yeah,
because
agreed. Yeah.
Because you have to know when to, these young adults, I mean, that's what they are. They're adults without borders. It's what they are. Because they don't.
They're just soft. They kind of like, their gradient just blends into the background. They're borderless.
But they don't have any. They don't have any limits to the destruction they can cause.
No, that's true.
But they have. But they're still children, so you can't really get on to them the way that you would get on to like a high school kid. Like,
you can't be like mean. You can't be mean to them because like they're still in this period. I mean, they're literally adolescents, so they're like. It's too, if you're really mean to them, it has like a huge impression. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody by the age of 17, if you're like, come on, man, do better. They're like, fuck you. I've had 4 years of knowing I can't do better. Like,
right.
I had 48 months of failure, dude.
But then again, when they're 17 and they're in high school, they have the option just not to go.
That's true.
And school's not for everybody. I'm not making fun of these kids who are like, you know what, school's not for me. I'm going to drop out and go do whatever.
Starting this fall, school won't be for healthy people, according to Betsy DeVos. I don't know if you saw that. You know what? We're going to go ahead. I'm going to add to this call Aaron McDavis, who
McDay.
Yeah, we're going to dial him up. He unfortunately is just going to be on the phone because of the nature of our of his software. Hopefully we can get him here in a second.
Hello.
If he's going to pop up. What's up, Aaron McDavis? Can you hear us okay?
1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Hello? Okay. Yeah.
You can hear me, right, man?
Earphones. Yeah.
This is like every episode.
Earphones.
Every episode, I feel like we're trying to overcome some technical issue. We got me and Lancey on the line with you, man.
Hey, what's up, Lance?
Lancey Joe here. Is this Aaron McDavis?
This is Aaron McDavis. Is this Lancey Joe?
This is him. For those of you watching, Aaron and I ran or I guess we still own the lease to a comedy show called Comedy Tub.
Yeah.
We still own the lease.
Once upon a time, we ran a show called Comedy Tub.
Well, it's a fun show over at Chicago Joe's.
Yeah.
I've done it a few times. But Aaron McDavis coming to us live from the front lines of the war against coronavirus. Aaron, what is the life of an essential worker right now?
Essential worker. I'd say right now I'm a wounded vet, I guess, because I'm at home right now.
Yeah, dude. Well, you've been hitting it, man.
Yeah.
Well, Brendan, do you know that he tested positive for coronavirus?
No, he did not. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
What? When?
I got my test on Thursday, and they called me Monday, so right now I'm isolated.
Oh, my God, Aaron. I had no idea, dude.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
But, so far I feel fine. Like, I wasn't showing any symptoms. I just walked in, just to get my test because it's close to me. Like it's right on Sheridan, which is like a couple streets from me.
Yep.
So I walked in and then got it, and they were like, "Yeah, you tested positive." So I was like, "All right, I should probably chill right now."
Damn, dude. Yeah, I had no idea. What do you need?
Yeah.
Can we send you food or vitamin C or something?
All your money, I guess. I don't know.
Well, according to the people in the
money,
former
please.
autonomous zone in Seattle, I have to give you $40.
Yeah.
I will get that out. I spent my last 40 on the Lancey Joe on Venmo show.
Oh, really? So Lance is getting that Corona money without even having Corona.
Aaron, what's your Venmo? We will say it on here, so maybe you can raise a few dollars since you're not able to work right now.
And I'll be okay. I got leave. I approved for leave, and I'll be paid for my my 2 weeks off.
Okay, so you still got money in.
I say that, but there's a part of me just wants to lie, be like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Spend $100.
But a little cash won't help.
Wait, you're trying to tell me that the $1,200 that Steve Mnuchin sent your way isn't lasting you all year?
No, surprisingly, especially in Chicago, $1,200 doesn't last 1 year.
No, yeah, it doesn't last 1 year.
It barely lasts a month.
Yeah, it doesn't last. I love that, like in New York, that wouldn't even have covered my rent in New York. Like, not even close. And it's nuts because I didn't get $1,200. I did what the government. I didn't file my taxes, and from until like 2 weeks ago. And so the government had to go off my year before taxes, and I did pretty well that year. And they were like, "Nah, we'll give you $100." So I didn't get any stimulus check, and then I owed money from last year on my taxes. So I had to give the government $1,200 because I was an independent contractor. So thanks a lot, Uncle Sam.
Well, I didn't get the money because Trump found out I voted. I was the one white guy that voted for Obama in Mississippi. I'm that guy.
Well, Aaron, I'm so sorry to hear that you got it, man.
Okay, I'm cool. It's all right. I'm cool. Like, I'm one of the lucky people. Like,
did you have any symptoms? How did you know that you weren't not feeling well?
I wasn't. I just they're giving me tests for free. They're giving out tests for free, and they're walk-ins nearby. Like, if anybody's in Chicago, check out Howard Brown Center. They're giving out coronavirus tests for free. You walk in. You don't have to set up an appointment, and they usually get it to you between 5 to 10 days. It just took me 4 days, and they got it back. So, but I don't really have any major symptoms that I'm aware of right now. It's been this will be my 7th day, I guess, like since I got the test. So I'm halfway there. But,
so this is the 7th day, but you were probably did you take a test you didn't take a test every day. You took a test like every few days or something?
I took my first test in June.
Got it.
Yes, and that was negative. I was fine. And then this was the second test, and this one said it was positive. So it finally got me, but so far it looks like I'm pretty lucky. So fingers crossed. I'm halfway there, and I get out. I'm sitting down the joint on the 16th.
So, but you're collecting. Essentially, this is like 2 weeks of kind of like paid vacation. Although I say vacation, you're like it's like staycation because you're at home, and you can't really like. Damn, dude. Well, I hope you have a speedy recovery on this because I feel like you've been like I ran into you on whatever we were on Diversity I think a while ago, and I was like, dude, I was surprised to see you only because I was like, dude, Aaron. It just seems like Aaron is just working all the time because like they had you going in all the time, man. So if hopefully you don't feel too sick and you get to rest.
Yeah, I mean, I finally get to just like chill for the first time, like in a while. So, just taking it day by day. It's cool just to lay down right now and just chill out.
Well, have you been doing?
Aaron, how are you doing?
Sorry, say that again.
I just said, how are you doing? It's not me.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, trying to avoid the nihilistic hole at the center of all of our lives during this crisis. And the way that I've done that is by jumping on this with Lance an hour a day so he can talk me off the cliff. I don't know if you heard earlier, but this is actually technically, I'm paying Lance as my, counselor during this period of time. He has a degree in sociology, which is close enough to an ology that I'll pay him to listen to me talk about my problems for an hour.
I've trained in mixology, so if you ever want to, by one of the most profound mixologists, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
What I was going to ask you though, Aaron, is what have you been doing since now that comedy is defunct for a little while? What have you been doing? Just to fill the void, aside from catching the virus.
Been doing like little short one-liner clips. I would just like walk around the park or just outside and I had like a list of like one-liners I've had in my joke notes that don't really go like properly on stage, or at least because I'm not like a huge one-liner dude on stage.
Yeah.
But I just put up I just record myself walking the street and say like random one-liners, and I put them online on my my Facebook page, and like I think I have like 4 or 5 right now. Called Random Thoughts by Aaron McDavis. And
I like that.
It's much of like random stuff, like and stuff I used to have on my old Facebook posts before I was a comic, just to practice joke writing. So I'm like, well, I can do something and fill that comedy void somehow by telling you like shitty one-liners. No one
I like it.
they probably got like one like on a post.
No, well, so that's about as good as we're doing on any of our given posts.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, I feel like it's this. What's been strange is like this is kind of a weird relief in a weird way. Like life was like so busy, and then you were kind of like forced to not be able to do anything.
Forced to stop.
Yeah.
Everything went to a screeching halt. Yeah.
Yeah, everything came to like a grinding halt for a second, and then like to see all these comics doing like remote shows and stuff. And you're like, oh, there's Joey Diaz showing his balls on a Zoom comedy show. You're like, this is what happens when you can't get up on stage at the comedy store. Is that everybody reverts to the same level of talent or something?
Yeah, like I've done a couple of Zoom shows too. It's hard for me to get used to it, but it's like because like the whole point of this like stand-up comedy was that you can be in front of a crowd of people. And the thrill of just in the fear of just standing in front of people like with like jokes you've written and thought was funny, and you can either bomb or you can kill, and that whole like rush was the whole reason you kept doing it. And now it's like Zoom, it's like everything's on mute, so you're just kind of like yelling your jokes into the void, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like we're all. It's so bizarre, man. Like we're all in a sitcom without a laugh track. Like now we're all like Bill Engvall's like sitcom. It's like you know what I mean? Like they should just add. Professional sports are doing this. Like they're adding like a cheer track, even though there's like nobody in the stadium. They're like playing a game and there's 0 people in the stadium, and they're like, it's so weird that they have to like add noise. Like for people watching, it's just so bizarre. That they're like having to add this stuff, and for the players themselves, like that's part of where the energy is. So it's like weird. It's like you're watching, like it's like the sports equivalent of watching an episode of like 2.5 Men, where like some shitty like sports move will happen that's not that great, and then there's like a fake cheer that like everybody.
Yeah, it feels like a sitcom where you're supposed to have laugh tracks, but the button broke, so everybody's kind of sitting there awkward.
Did you do, Lance? Have you done any Zoom shows?
Yeah, I did one early on. I did one for Harrigan's because they were trying to raise some money for Harrigan's when.
Oh, that's
when
right.
They,
Yeah, I remember that.
But I just do the Lancey Joe ones. But at first, it's just so hard to get used to the no laughter, because when I'm on stage, I can't even get a joke out without people laughing their ass off. And nowadays, I mean, it's now I'm able to free range think.
Now I'm actually able to get some real work done here. Now that I don't have this adoring public to deal with. I can't even begin to tell you how annoying it is. How did Michael Jackson get a tune written? Like, I want to ask you, Aaron. So you've talked to a doctor? Do they tell you not to drink alcohol when you're on when you've got the Rona?
Nurse. Well, I was with a nurse. Yeah, they do suggest don't drink alcohol at all. They do say if you do it like moderately. Don't drink a bunch.
Do it secretly. if you do it as a secret.
If you're gonna drink alcohol,
No.
hide the bottle of whiskey in your toilet or under your bed, or
like,
drink Listerine.
Yeah, it's like he asked me if I drank. I said not always, but it's always Dos Equis.
You said why? Why, you want one?
Did they prescribe you the hydrochloroquine? Are you even gonna attempt to?
No, I don't think anybody is going to suggest hydrochloroquine unless they just hate you. But no, he basically just said like, hey, just check your temperature every day, and I got one of those like what do they call them, the pulse oximeters to check my oxygen levels.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So those are normal still, and
was that expensive?
No. How much was this? Because I actually got it a long time ago.
When you get the pulse oximeter around, how long does it take for you to get into light speed?
I thought you were going to say, how long does it take to come?
Oh, God. 5 seconds if you do it right.
Beep, 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 beep,
But, everyone goes at their own pace, but, for the pros, it's 5 seconds or less.
You put it around your neck.
Put that on Aaron's one-liners.
Yeah.
By the way, Andrew Lawson, big fan of the show, is asking what you do for work. That what did you do that was essential?
Grocery store. I work at a grocery store. Yeah.
He's out there. Yeah. Aaron's out there making sure that you can get the food you need to eat, Andrew. And did you have to pay out of pocket for the pulse oximeter, or are they covering that?
Actually, my mom actually got it. She was I think she bought it from Walmart. I think she did, and then she just grabbed on and sent one to me. They're not that expensive, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think I should probably just proactively order one sooner or later. I did a comedy show in Portland, and it was supposed to be outdoors, and then it ended up kind of being like semi-indoors. And I was like, if I just do, I mean, like the Laugh Factory's like opening up, and they're having another. Did you see that? The Laugh Factory in Chicago is having they're doing
I saw that they're
show.
prepping to open up. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna do it, Aaron? You gonna show up?
I mean, not now, but we'll see. I don't know. Like, if I come out of this okay, I guess I'm immune. I'm Wolverine for Corona, and then I'll just come in like without a mask, just like yelling in people's faces.
I would love that. Just reduce the number of comedians active in the community would be
wonderful.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, truly.
Aaron, do you remember Andrew Lawson, don't you? He used to come up to Comedy Tub. He's in the comment section. That's who was asking that question earlier, just by the way.
I haven't seen him in a while. How's he doing?
How you doing, Andrew?
I don't know if you... I can't really check the vid right now because I'm on the phone, but... Or maybe I can. Hold on.
Can you do both? Well, this is where we lose Aaron. This is when he attempts to check. Anytime there's like a weird like Murphy's Law of this show, which is if anybody ever tries to do two technical things at once, the whole thing just falls apart and stops working. Like if I try to connect another person to the call, the whole thing shuts down. If somebody tries to be like, hey, let me check my phone for 1 second about what you just asked me about, they like drop off the call. It's like a weird, like nobody can, like everybody can handle one technical thing, but if you try to add two at one time, like the entire thing just becomes a nightmare. We all have college degrees. That's the thing that's like the craziest. Like we all have college and high school diplomas.
But none of the degrees are actually like practical.
Yeah. My degree's in philosophy. What the fuck was I thinking? Like what?
That's for you to ponder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really into asking really good questions, like why am I doing this? If there's
Aaron,
a God, why
what's
would
your
he let me
degree
do
in, Aaron?
this?
Theater.
Don't you have a theater? He's got a degree in theater.
Yeah, theater. Yeah. This is why I work at a grocery store.
Oh my gosh, man. I feel like if I had to do it all over again, it feels like everybody's in the next like few years. There's going to be like a whole bunch of people who are super duper into virology. You know what I mean?
Blowing? No.
Glass blowing.
Glass blowing. That's
A lot
big
of
thing.
fashion design of masks is going to come out in the next like year.
Yeah.
There's going to be a whole lot of really cool mask designs that everybody
we're gonna
is
have
like.
stand-up glass blowing. That's what we're gonna have on Netflix. Which is,
It'll be so
it's gonna
funny.
It's gonna be like these weird, weird like crafts.
From the director who brought you the Brene Brown special. Glass blowing.
If we're doing glass blowing, Brendan's got to grow his beard back out.
I don't. I would not. That beard would go up in flames if I was trying to blow some glass. That sounds like something you say as an insult to somebody. You know what I mean? Hey man, we should go fucking blow some glass, bro.
Bro.
I'm gonna yell that at a bunch of Guidos outside of Gotham Comedy Club at 1 in the morning.
Yeah. Hey, let's go blow some glass.
Why don't you go blow some glass? Hey, get out of here!
Go blow some
Go
glass.
blow some glass!
Get out of here. Go blow some glass.
Go back to Long Island City.
It kind of sounds like you're smoking meth also, though. I'm going to go blow some glass.
Isn't that what we were talking about? Isn't that what blowing glass means?
Artisan glass blowing?
Artisan glass blowing. I've got some handcrafted narcotics here. These are vintage.
It's blue. You know it's
comes
good.
from south.
Blue.
It comes from
that's
south of the
narcotic.
border.
Come to Netflix.
These were made by the indigenous people in the small town of Juarez. Well, Aaron, I'm so sad to hear that you're, you got the Rona, dude. Hopefully, we wish you a speedy recovery, and hopefully you'll slide right on,
Oh, thanks.
you'll be
I'm,
fully.
like I said, I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay so far. I'm halfway there. So.
Well, good.
Yeah.
And where can people follow your dealio, man? Where can people follow your Aaron's joke of the day?
It's my Facebook, just my name, Aaron McDavis.
Get on TikTok just as Pompeo makes it illegal. Get on TikTok just as the Trump administration takes it down.
For the last week of it, yeah, sure.
Why not? It's so sad because I have, like Josh Otusanya and Bill Petit, they're getting like so many followers on TikTok. Like so many. Like St. James Jackson has like 40,000 followers or something. And it's like all going to go away. Oh my God. What a tragedy. Of course.
Yeah.
Such is our time. Trump will take everything dear to you.
Yeah. Well, I think, isn't like TikTok like a Chinese business-owned thing? It's probably just doing it because he knows it's Chinese or something. He's probably going to kick out all kung fu classes and kick out Chinese restaurants.
We're shutting down these karate classes.
Yeah.
Karate's from Japan, Mr. Trump. It's the same country.
The Hoonin Buffet is tremendous. It's tremendous.
These are great people. Tremendous, marvelous. But no, there will no be kung fu. Trump's America. I want to make a. I want to design
David Carradine's kung fu.
David Carradine's kung fu. I was a fan of Gunsmoke, but not kung fu. I'm gonna create a big yard sign. I want it to say Trump Corona 2020. I want to put it outside and see what anybody does with it. Clearly, it's not that funny. No laughs, apparently. I thought I was like, this will be hilarious.
Just think of this as a Zoom comedy show. That's all.
That was so funny. Somebody asked me at work. They
The
were
laugh
like,
track button is broken.
somebody at work was like, "What do you do?" Because like you can tell the joke, but you don't hear any laughs. And I'm like, I don't know if you've seen my comedy, but I'm used to that situation.
You've been prepared for this for years.
I've been prepared for this for 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
2 decades.
Well, Aaron McDavis, thank you so much for joining us, man. And
Thanks for having
wish you
me.
speedy recovery, dude. I'm glad you were able to dial in. Please get some rest, and we'll check in on you. So be well, man.
All right. Thanks, man. See ya.
All right,
Bye.
There we go. I had no idea he wasn't feeling well, man. That's terrible to hear that he got the coronavirus. I guess sooner or later we'll all get it. So it's best maybe
that's the bright side. I mean, hopefully there is some sort of it, or at least you're immune to that strand. Hopefully, if you have it once. I mean, scientists don't know anything about it. So
well, yeah. Well, that's what. So
part.
there was it's interesting you say that, Lance, because there was a report in the New York Times Daily Podcast today. The liberal lying New York Times that's just out to get Donald Trump with its fake news.
Well, New York Times is got a great fictional newspaper.
It's right up there with Agatha Christie's pulp mysteries. It's a great. I follow it all the time. Weird stories with Lovecraft, and then right underneath it is the New York Times. I love all of them. You know what I mean? Cthulhu, Murder on the Orient Express, New York Times. It's like the middle of all three. What I was going to say? Oh, so no, the report that came out with is like, turns out the CDC has like tons of information, and they're just not like sharing any of it with the public. So the New York Times had to sue the CDC to get access to the information, and they released some of it. And that's why I was going to say, like, it's sad that Aaron has this like, the coronavirus is disproportionately affecting people of color, which is black people and Latinos, just for for your lay people. And it's just really sad that happens to be the case, both in terms of infection rates and in terms of like its morbidity. And I mean, which is just horrible. But a lot of that, they're hiding that information. Like that isn't easily available. So it's pretty sad, actually. I wish there was something funny about that. I guess the big joke is that he's going to get elected again or something. That's like maybe where we're heading with this. This is terrible.
Well, we need to get Edward Snowden to tell us what they're thinking. He can hack in there now. In a nanosecond, he could be in that. Tell us everything about it.
Nanosecond. Nanu. Oh my gosh, man. Lancey, it was what do you got going on at Lancey Joe on Venmo show tonight? You got episode 103 coming on.
Actually, it's episode 102. I misspoke earlier. So what I'm doing now is in those episodes, I just do a few jokes or whatever, and then I start watching episode 2 or 3 or whichever one I'm on. So tonight I'm going to watch episode 3, and
make comments as you.
Yeah. I make fun of myself making fun of things. And like I said, by the time I get to 200, when I start making fun of these episodes, you're not even going to know who the real Lancey Joe is. It's going to be...
He's become a legend.
I might not even go on anymore. I'll just let them talk to each other.
He's a riddle wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in another version of himself. It's weird, dude. What a beautiful piece of performance art that you're rolling into. Check out the Lancey Joe on Venmo show today, episode 102, where he's reviewing his second episode. Sponsored, the Lancey Joe on Venmo show, sponsored by two mirrors facing each other. All right, buddy. Take care. We will see you later. Thank you for tuning in. We're here at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific, and 11:30 GMT. Sometimes that varies. Sometimes it varies a little bit. But hang out. We'll be back. Take care, everybody. We'll see you later. Stay healthy. And
Bye.
send Aaron McDavis some money. Goodbye.